Homestuck, and this is my first time talking to someone about their project. And do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your musical?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Anna, otherwise known as Articulately Composed, and I wrote an illegal fanfiction musical. It is a full-length, 2-act, about 2-hour-long musical about the ancestors, but they've sort of been humanized and things have been changed to make it for a broader audience. So basically, most of the people that care about this musical aren't actually Homestucks, they're just people I know who like musical theater and enjoy watching people get burned at the stake on stage.
Yeah, and I hear they started shipping Red Glare and Mindfang completely of their own accord.
Yes. So there's one scene where it's... Well, actually, I haven't explained, the premise. It's from the perspective of the handmaid. It's from... I've renamed her Mara. So basically just shortened to Mara to make it a normal human name. But, yeah, it's from the handmaid's perspective, and she's going down to Earth, and, well, it's Earth here. They're human here. It's basically human stuck. She goes down to the planet and fucks up shit, and she's... been tasked by Doc Scratch to fuck up Mindfang's life. So she goes down to the pirate ship and she stows away and becomes part of the crew. And there's this big number where it's all the pirates singing about how great it is to be a pirate. And at one point, the ship crashes into another ship. And Dulscar, who has been renamed Trevor, because what's a better douchebag name than Trevor, he storms onto the ship and he's about to punch whoever crashed into him. And he sees Mindfang, and they make out for a solid 8 bars of heavy swing music. Yeah. But the person who's playing Mindfang, not a big fan of the person playing Dulscar.
Gotcha.
So she was like, can't insert name of person playing Red Glare here be the one to do it? She can hit the notes, and she actually shows up to rehearsal, and I would rather make out with her. It's like... Well, a lot of people do ship Mind Glare, Red Fang, whatever the ship name for them is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically just Scourge Sisters 2.0.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the show is going to be a good time. It's actually, if anyone who listens to this happens to be in the upstate New York area, it is going to be playing at Ithaca College in Presser Hall on the 26th and 27th of April at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's very exciting. I wish I lived closer so I could go see it, because I've been listening to it, obviously on YouTube, and it's been very fun.
Oh, you've been listening to my thing. Thank you.
Well, I'm not just going to have you on here and be like, yeah, I have no idea what it is.
True. Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so where did you come up with the idea for the musical?
Actually, so it's been many, many years in the working. The initial idea actually came 3 years ago. I was so I've been singing in Broadway stuck groups for years. This one was, this was Broadway tier. Probably the most recent one I've been in, but it was still 3 years ago. And there were a couple people who made all these ancestor parodies, and one of them joked, hey, we have enough parodies to make a musical about the ancestors. And I was like, why not just write an original musical about the ancestors? So we broke off into our separate group and started tossing around ideas for an ancestor musical. And I really wanted to do a musical that broke the fourth wall, because I had been having all sorts of breaking the fourth wall ideas, because Undertale had just come out, and I was loving the fourth wall breaking of that. So I had all these, I want to create something that breaks the fourth wall ideas in my head. And yeah, originally, the one that was going to break the fourth wall was actually going to be the Psionic.
Oh.
This was our first idea we tossed around. And then we were like, wait. The Handmaid's seen more than the Psionic has. Mm-hmm. She should be the one to break the fourth wall and to talk to the audience. So, yeah, we settled on that, and then everybody forgot about it for a solid year. Then, yeah, it was right after, it was December, January-ish of sophomore year. So yeah, it was about 2 years ago. I had just gotten back into doing musical theater. I joined a theater group on campus, and I remembered how much I love musical theater. And I was like, oh, I gotta write a musical. And that came to mind. This thing that was just sort of a one-off, thrown around idea back a year ago, just, it popped into my head, and I was like, shit, I gotta do this. Yeah. So, yeah. It sort of spiraled from there. I made an outline, I wrote I think the first song I wrote was Born to Be Free, which is the Dolorosa's Song to the Signless. Little lullaby written in Mixolydian mode. Because I'm a theory nerd, I will be saying random theory things.
That's fair.
That nobody will understand.
Someone will, and someone will appreciate it.
Yes. Homestuck music people, talk to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, it sort of grew from there. I wrote most of the script when I was abroad last spring.
Oh, nice.
Like, a lot of it was written on, like, trains around Vienna.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so, yeah, over the past several years, I've just been picking away at this thing. It's practically done now. There's just a couple songs I have to do a couple edits on, and it's going to be performed soon.
Yeah, that must be very exciting. So you're working on it, like, it's a passion project for you. You just love Homestuck so much that it came up. Yeah, so that's really fun.
I mean, I've been writing Homestuck music since I was 15 years old.
Fair.
How long have you been in the fandom?
Oh, not nearly that long. Let's see. It was around 2013, 2014.
So you joined about probably... Well, I joined in 2013.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm younger than you, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm still in college, so, yeah, you probably... Do you remember the Homestuck musical project?
I don't. I wasn't super into the fandom whenever I first started. I was just kind of, like, into Homestuck.
There was a bunch of, like, a lot of people worked on it. It was an online musical. It was supposed to be of the entirety of Homestuck. They only actually did the full thing, did it, like, fully produced for the first act. But, it had demos written up through, like, halfway through Act 5, and I wrote, like, 8 songs for them. Oh. This was back before I knew anything about writing music, so I could just sort of shit out songs without any regard to whether or not they sounded good.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, that was, like, the first thing I did in the fandom was I wrote... what was the first one? Was it the Nepeta one that was the first? I don't know. I wrote a lot of songs for this, so I've been writing Homestuck musical songs for pretty much 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely very exciting. It's always nice to see. I really like your project because, like, I see a lot of fan artists, and fan artists are great, and fanfic writers are great, and I consider myself both of those, but just the people who can, like, make music from Homestuck, I think is really fantastic, and I didn't even consider that being part of the fandom, like, part of the fan works that you could make until you're musical, and I'm like, well, of course people can make music for it.
It is the music community in Homestuck is the most unique fan community I've ever found. I've been trying to... I mean, there was the whole period of time, like, 2 years ago when the Homestuck fandom basically completely petered out, and around that time, I was desperately trying to find another fandom that had a similar music community. Like, no other fandom has a community where people just... make fan music. You never, like, I love Steven Universe. There's no fan music community for Steven Universe. Mm-hmm. There's sort of a fan music community for Undertale, but, like, not really, because you can't write music better than that soundtrack.
Yeah, Toby Fox is done. Like, it's over with once Toby Fox gets in the mix.
Like, there's fan musicals for Undertale, but they're not original, because nobody can really dare to try and be better than Toby Fox there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been desperately trying to find a community that was equivalent to the Homestuck music community. And now I'm just so glad that the Homestuck fandom is back because of FriendSim and because of whatever's going to happen on 413.
Oh, I know.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's very exciting. For those listening to this, we're recording this the week before, so it's before 413 happens.
It's 410. It's the anniversary of the beta of Smooth John.
So we're close, but yeah, I'm really excited for 413 and what's going to happen, whatever it is.
What are your plans on 413?
So, unfortunately, I do have to work on 413, but I'm probably just gonna swing by Dollar Tree and grab some Faygo and just kind of deal with whatever
right,
happens.
You live in the part of the country that actually sells Faygo.
I know. Yeah, I actually just moved up because I hadn't seen Faygo before in stores, but I moved up here and I went to my local Dollar Tree and I was looking at the soda and then I like about died in my Dollar Tree because it was real. It was there in front of me.
Damn.
Yeah.
You were in the land of the Juggalo.
Yeah, apparently. So yeah, what are your plans?
So I have I've got a rehearsal for Time's Apprentice that day. We are doing the choreography for Open Seas, the number I was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna show up in Vriska cosplay, and nobody can fucking stop me.
Nice.
I went back home last weekend just so I could grab my Vriska shirt.
Yeah.
No gray paint, no horns, just like the shirt and like similar clothes.
I mean,
and
that's
blue
fair.
lipstick.
Of course.
So if people like know the character, they'll know what I'm doing, and if they don't, they're just gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is she doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. So I know you.
Also that day, I'm doing my stream. Mm-hmm. Do you watch my stream?
I keep meaning to watch it, but it just hasn't like lined up with some plans. But
you probably won't be free this time because you're probably working. But if you weren't working, I'm doing a drunk stream. Me and my roommate and her boyfriend are gonna get pretty drunk off of. I think we're gonna make like, screwdrivers or something. We're gonna make some drinks, and we're going to play Lank's Route of Friendsim.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's gonna finish up our non-Homestuck roommate plays Friendsim series, and yeah. I'm probably going to kick the two of them out at some point just so I can scream about whatever the epilogue is with whoever's on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be something else. It'll be a nice time to have a stream for that for sure.
Yeah, it's the fourth stream.
Yeah. So you have the musical set to debut. You said it was, did you say the 26th of April?
Yes, 26th and 27th.
Okay.
And I'm going to have it recorded. I'm going to put it on YouTube for everybody to see. And then, after I graduate, after all of my other composing stuff is done with and all that, I'm going to start trying to make this thing legal.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know who I'm going to contact. I don't know how I'm going to get the rights to these characters, but I want to get the rights to these characters because I want to take this show somewhere. Yeah, like, who do I contact? Do I try and go straight to Hussey? Do I go through Viz? Do I talk to one of the, writers or something to get Hussey's contact?
Yeah, just slowly work your way up through the fan dub. And, who do I contact from there?
Well, Aisha's in the fan dub.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that'd be very exciting. And they've been pretty cool about fan work so far, about, like, implementing fan works, into the comic itself. That's
another thing that's so unique about Homestuck, is there's no other fandom that does that. No other fandom sees fan artists and is like, hey, that is really fucking cool. Let's add that person into our staff. Like, yeah. I don't know, this is the only fandom where I feel like I could get a job by being a fan.
I know, like, isn't that how Aisha got a job, by being a fan?
Oh, it's exactly how Aisha got a job.
So, yeah, that's very exciting. It's like, maybe one day they'll hear my podcast and get me on.
I don't know if they're ever gonna, I don't know if they need more people on the music team, since, like, it doesn't really seem like they have so much music at their disposal. But, like, if they ever were gonna, like, do an official voiced thing of Homestuck, or if they ever needed vocal music specifically, because I'm better at vocal music than instrumental music.
Well, there you go.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
please hire me, Hussey.
Yeah. They had some vocals that, what is it called? The Squiddles?
The Squiddles album. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then also Your Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, I tricked my high school jazz band into playing that like 4 years ago.
Nice.
I was the vocalist for the jazz band, and they were like, what do you want to sing? And it's like, I know a jazz standard, quote unquote, that no one else knows.
Yeah, being a Homestuck is just tricking everyone to getting into Homestuck.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I am so close to getting my roommate to read it. Chrissy is thoroughly invested in FriendSim, thoroughly invested in Time's Apprentice. I got her to read a fic. I got her to read, it's an ancestor fic from the perspective of The Handmaid that actually inspired a lot of the things I did in my musical.
Oh, nice.
But, like, who would have thought that she's been resisting joining the Homestuck fandom forever? I've lived with her for 4 years, and she's been resisting for that entire time, and now she's finally breaking.
Nice. Yeah, that's always goals. My best friends still haven't gotten into it, but I'll wear them down eventually.
I got my mom into it.
Oh, man.
She actually was the one that told me about it first, because she is a writing professor, and one of her students was writing a paper on Homestuck, and she was like, hey, this seems like the kind of thing you'd like. You should check it out. It took me a while to check it out, because it's long as shit, but, yeah, I read it. I loved it. I convinced her to read it. She loved it. And we used to have very, like, analytical conversations about it during, like, when we, like, drove in the car together and shit. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's why I love how intellectual the Homestuck fandom's gotten. Like, how analytical and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. There's so much analysis out there. Like, I can't think of half the stuff that some people think and say about it. And it's really fantastic. Like, I mean, even just like class specting. Class specting is like an art form of its own.
I've never been big into class specting, but I do want to force all my friends, no matter whether or not they're ever going to read the comic, I want to force them to take the extended Zodiac quiz, because I want to know what aspect they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we have this as your kind of main project. Are there any other like side projects you're working on, Homestuck related?
Well, I am making a fan sim.
Oh, nice.
It is, so my idea for, it's actually sort of half written. No, it's like a quarter written. I haven't done. So it's a Stelzius fan sim, but it's not them together. They each go on different branches, and their branches intertwine. So if you do the bad end of Tisius's route, it's simultaneously happening at the same time as the bad end of Stelz's route, and then they converge at the end of each route, and you get the different perspective on it. So I've currently only written Tisius's good end, and basically you go with her to a Tetrarch meeting, because she's definitely one of the 4 Tetrarchs. You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
So you go with her to a Tetrarch meeting. She gets very, very upset with Damek, and then she goes to visit Daria, Daria and Tisius are pale. I don't care what anyone says. They're pale.
Yeah.
So she goes to her to have a pale session, and they end up committing arson.
Oh.
Yeah, they blow up a slave trade center.
There you go.
And yeah, that's their good end. And their bad end is they go to a protest, but the protest gets attacked by drones. And while they're at the protest, they run into Stelsa, who, sees them there. And someone gets killed, and I haven't decided who gets killed yet.
Oh, no. I mean, it's going to be hard either way.
Yeah. And then if you do Stelsa's route, her good route is she helps Torona find a meme thief, and they go on a little adventure together. And then the bad end is she fails at finding the meme thief and runs into Tisius at the protest, and someone dies.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's fun. I'm slowly learning Ren'Py.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any help with that, I know Ren'Py pretty well. I made my own.
Did you know how to make Daria's little triangle things? Because I can't figure out how to do that. Like, I just tried copy-pasting them in, and it just makes little boxes where triangles should be.
You know what? I think I can find a resource on that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't worked on this in a while just because, got no time. I have a lot of other things going on.
For sure, yeah. You've been working on your musical project. You're going to college. We have the FriendSim stuff.
Yeah, though we haven't, I mean, I haven't come up yet for that. I'll come up soon enough. The real question is, what's going to come out first? The FriendSim Fandub, this FriendSim Fandub Bronya route, or Voxus's Bronya route? I'm Branya in both, so it's like, who will hear my voice first?
Yeah. Yeah, so you just could be double Branya. You've just been assigned Branya King.
I am just the ultimate mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's very exciting. Well, where can people find you? You have a YouTube page and on Twitter, and go ahead and give me the links for those.
I am on Twitter. I am at AC_music, because you can't fit articulately composed on as a Twitter handle, unfortunately. Yeah. YouTube, I'm articulately composed. Tumblr, I'm articulately composed, or articulately decomposed if you want my meme Tumblr, but I don't really post on Tumblr that often anymore. Basically, if you want to find me, I'm articulately composed. That's
fair. And yeah, a lot of people are kind of moving away from Tumblr.
It's so sad.
It is.
That was my home for 6 years. I got a Tumblr on my 15th birthday in 2012, and I would go on it every single day, no matter what. I still keep the tab up on my computer because I feel it feels wrong to close it. It feels like I'd be closing an era of my life, but I don't go on it that often. I don't reblog very often. I don't even post my songs on there anymore, so yeah, it's just sad.
Yeah. I hate to say it though, because Tumblr kind of went downhill pretty recently, that's what got me into Twitter Homestuck fandom, because I wasn't really on Twitter before. So. I
joined basically the week before Tumblr went to shit, because I had just watched... I just watched one of the Perfectly Generic podcast episodes that talked about how Homestuck Twitter was this huge flourishing community, and I needed to get in on that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I didn't even know about the Perfectly Generic podcast at first, so getting on Twitter.
I only found out about it because of the James Roach episode, because I love hearing about the musical
for sure.
inspirations about things.
Yeah.
So but I didn't really start following it until around when I joined Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely still need to get caught up on that. And Homestuck Twitter is such a great place to be. I know that every fandom is going to have its downsides. There's always going to be, a few bad apples. But overall, the Homestuck Twitter has been really nice. And there's so much creativity in the fandom. And
yeah, it's just an endless... I mean, the comic's so dense that it fuels so much creativity.
Exactly. So I have an episode coming out for 13. So people might have already listened to it if they're listening to this episode. But someone described it as a literature sandbox, and I think that was a really good term for it.
I like that description.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't submit anything for that for you. I
had
a show last week.
Yeah, no, you've been super busy, and I mean, you've been working on some great stuff, and you have your musical coming up soon, and that's super exciting.
And I have the 413 gift exchange thing that I've
that's right.
Organized.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lovely shitpost in your inbox.
Looking forward to it. But yeah, so I'll include links to all the relevant pages in the description. And I really appreciate you taking your time to talk about your musical.
Of course.
Yeah, so I might get you on some other time. We can talk about it again. I'll definitely mention it whenever your videos are posted to make sure people go see that.
Hell yes.
Because that's going to be very exciting.
The more people, the better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, Homestuck Musical is something that we got to support.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fourth one. There's been 3 others before me, but mine is completely different because every other one is let's do the entirety of Homestuck.
Yeah. Yeah, yours is definitely pretty original, and I really like some of the takes. So people definitely need to, even before it's released, go check out the link for her YouTube and listen to those songs because they're fantastic. And it's just a really fun project that we need to support. I wish I had money to support everyone's projects.
I'm doing online commissions. If anyone wants a random voice clip or something, all the money's going straight to help fund our musicians for Time's Apprentice.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And I can include a link for that as well.
Yeah, my Ko-fi is also articulately composed.
Okay, so just Google articulately composed and you'll find everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that is it. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and I will see you guys next week, where we'll be talking about, I think we're going to be starting on Act 2.